Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers just continue to improve and take steps forward under the quiet leadership of Herbert, who's been the most productive quarterback in league history through his first 3 seasons. Over 4,700 yards last year. He's expecting to crack the 5,000-yard mark in this season.
It got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing first play is Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
Now their versatile running back, here's Austin Eckler. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's Herbert. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Well, 3 and out to start the game would have been a real disappointment. So this is a nice job of finding something you think will work and executing it. And they're able to keep this opening drive going.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. There he goes, right side. Down the right sideline. And finally down at the 9-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ball game. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. Trip, and he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
But for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota's new coaching staff really leaned on Cousins for leadership and production, and the longtime vet was up to the pressure. 29 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and a 13-win season, his best as a starter. Captain Kirk, he's quietly been one of the league's most productive passers the last few seasons.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second down and 6 now. Cousins to throw it. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And Jefferson's going to have the Vikings first down as he'll get this down to the 47-yard line. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. They'll go Madison up the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
From the 42-yard line, here's second and 5. Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 31-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
Second down, Cousins, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing, Cousins. That is caught. And he will have the Vikings first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Madison running left. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's Cousins. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Chargers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
The Chargers get set to go here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 25-yard line.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Finding Williams once more, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Herbert. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly. But here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd down and 3. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
One of the great things about most guys that play on the offensive line is that they have patience and extreme confidence in themselves. This group's gotten pushed around the entire game, haven't been able to move the ball very well. But after picking up a first down, running it there, they'll feel a little bit better about themselves going forward.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. And the rookie Darius Davis deep for the Chargers. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert on 1st down now. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because any incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
To throw is Cousins. Toward the sideline, and he will have the 1st down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins again. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Cousins. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the 1st half winds down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up to run the quarterback draw. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Throwing is Cousins. That's It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. K.J. Osborne in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. So a late touchdown here just before the half, and that obviously changes the dynamic of this game.
Yeah, in a couple of ways, partner, because they've been shut out up until this point. So now at least they go into the locker room, and Uncle Mo may be creeping over to their side to talk to him a little bit. And second, they're right back in the football game, an extra point away from tying things up.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all time. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando and the EA Sports.
Okay, Coach.
We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Kenneth Murray, the linebacker, there to make the play defensively. Here's 2nd and 7. Cousins now. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Cousins on first down. To the sideline and incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. He's got it to Williams. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert now. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 1st downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
Again, Herbert. They'll find Williams on the slant.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. So a decent gain there, but not their 4th consecutive 1st down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
On 1st down, it's Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 30 yards.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
Eckler will score. Touchdown, Chargers. Hard to argue with that being their best drive of the game so far as they use the running game to get them into the end zone.
Couldn't agree more, partner. Prior to that drive, they sputtered a little bit, but it looks like they found the formula. I would expect them to go back to that more and more as this game develops.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. And how about that return? Inside the 20-yard line.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
The Vikings ready to go again on offense. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Osborne motions left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
To throw, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback. So that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
K.J. Osborne with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this ball game here in the final moments of the 3rd quarter.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Eckler now between the tackles, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Herbert now on 2nd down. Open man, it's Palmer.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now it's Herbert. And Allen's got it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger first down.
Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the
touchdown, Chargers!
Austin Eckler
from 21 yards away.
And the Chargers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Cousins to throw it.
And they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Cousins.
That's down the field for Jefferson.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
L.A. readies for its next possession.
Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Up the middle with Eckler.
69 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now Herbert. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the 50, here's Herbert.
Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. A handoff, it's Eckler. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So Cousins and the Vikings down 21-14, a minute 50 to play. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
Completes this to Jefferson.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Here's Cousins.
Pass complete. It's Madison.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Cousins throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Cousins to throw. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Now Cousins.
Slant route, and he's got Addison.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd down and 3.
Cousins.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Back to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 12-yard line.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got one timeout left. Want to save it.
Here's 1st down.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Now this offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments, and anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
12 yards between them and the end zone. 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. And he'll just get rid of it. And now time for one final play that has to be obviously in the end zone.
Can't wait to see what they call, but you want to get it to your best player. Sometimes you have to do it by formation. Move everyone to one side, and maybe he gets a one-on-one isolated on the backside.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
One last shot now for Cousins. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for, but couldn't secure.